Chris Bushman back. Another stream. Keeping it casual. Mostly because we are going for a bit of a system tour today. Let me make sure Brohan knows what's going on. Of course. Get this all shared up. Things of that nature. Yeah, we'll see if anyone joins up here. But basically, very recently, I had the opportunity to take one of the. Get this camera adjusted here. Take one of the broken motherboards I've had on hand for a while and get it fixed up to the point where we can actually play games on it and actually build a really nice system. It's something that took a little bit of work, but we got there. It's very exciting. We might be able to run even TUROK 2 on here. And yeah, so today I kind of wanted to give a little tour of where the system is at right now, what it's capable of, and hopefully some steps forward, and maybe work out a few other applications that'll work for the system. But first, let's get a feel for what's actually in here. So this is running a AMD K6 at 200 megahertz. I have 128 megabytes of SD RAM, running Windows 98 here. Tribes, indeed. This is a socket 7 board. I forget the actual model, but I have it written down somewhere. But the relevant thing here is what we have for, video hardware. So we're running a Rage 2 Plus, which is like a Rage 2C chipset with DVD and TV tuner support. We have ourselves a 3-com NIC, and then we have a 3DFX Voodoo card, all of our ATI tuner stuff, and a Yamaha OPL3 SAX sound system. So it's an OPL3 card, some sort of OEM card I had on hand. Sound quality is okay. I think it definitely blows out volume when it comes to DOS, but we will see how this all sort of equates as we go along. First things first, though, let's check out some demos. So we're using Voodoo 1, so we have Voodoo 1 demos. Fantastic, right? Right. I have not tried any of the TV tuning. Might be interesting, especially with doing, say, analog capture for, like, RF stuff. But I haven't tried anything myself here. So going to Maxi Gamer, we have demos. Hey! Pretty cool. 3D effects. Now, if I recall correctly, I thought I had enabled this to have splash on. Yeah, so this was set to 1 before, and I set it back to 0. So I think I should have 3DFX splash screens. Let's see if there's another place to configure that. System info, fantastic. Let's try another demo here. Go with, what are flip demos? That's fine. I don't know what the flip demos are. Flips models of several different file formats, including these guys. Okay, so I have to provide a model name. So like this. Oh yeah, cool. 3D, man. Oh, what else do we have? We have Wiz Mark 3.0. So this is benchmarking 3D Direct 3D versus 3D effects. I think this all takes place in Wizard's Tower, that demo. And I'm also not sure if... So, like, when I did the Wizard's Tower demo myself before using 3D... using a Glide, I believe it was... Oh, excuse me. Okay. So there we go, there's that. About 60 frames, I think I said. I was quite paying attention to what it said, honestly. But the Wizard's Tower itself, if we go back to it here, I remember the lighting being different. Yeah. I'm also not sure if I can look up or down at all. Yeah, it's a different demo than what was being shown before, for sure. But in the Wizard's Tower... Do a rocket jump. Heck yeah, man. If only. Whoa, look at this lighting. So green. With the dragon. Do I not go through that? I guess not. That's not the way to go. Cool lighting effect there. Some of the lava. And there's our 3D effects emblem there. I assume there's a way to get to it. Not through there. So it looks mighty impressive, right? Maybe I can like fly up or something. Anywho, that's Wizard's Tower in a nutshell. And then probably the last one we'd show is Valley of Raw, I think. Yeah, this classic demo. Which is a fight each other game. Wow, 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 wow. Yeah. So the CPU speed issues I got were on my Pentium 3 before, and I was like at 700 megahertz, and then the 1.1 gigahertz. Well, actually, I didn't try the 1.1 gigahertz. From what I've heard, anything above 400 megahertz starts becoming trouble. This at 200 is great. Let me double check this auto exec real quick, because I want to make sure if we're doing glide stuff that we're going to get the full glide experience, like the title. So I want to double check this FX glide no splash option. Okay, so you know what, we'll do it like this. I'm going to... I think rem will be what I want to do. We'll give this a restart. I think that should be fine. Get to see a full boot sequence of this. I'll give you some idea of the specs of the machine too as we boot up. In all of its glory. And then you'll see some resolution changes, mostly because of the VFX1 card initializing. It tends to letterbox that a little bit, for whatever reason, as it does. But with that, I think we'd start looking at games, how they run. Now, this is going to be a bit incomplete as well because I don't have a gamepad set up on here yet. And I do feel like some of these games really do better with a gamepad of some kind. Yes, we have networking. Beautiful sound driver. So let's start with MechWarrior 2. And so first thing we're going to do is we're going to start up the ATI Rage edition here. I basically installed the game twice. Two separate directories just because I want to keep everything separate just in case of weird differences with the games. So I have them separating out accordingly. I think this should launch the Rage version, then with the Voodoo edition up there. And also I noticed it's like MIDI music, I think, which is odd. Let's see here, difficulty medium, everything's pretty much as it should be there. Cockpit controls, yeah, like we don't have anything that would be like of note for controllers. And this should be ATI.
Welcome to Training Cadet. I like to think of this lovely place as my home. Now you wouldn't even think of upsetting me if I could come home.
It should. I don't know how I would enable that. Then you say hit and at the top of the console. Makes I think sound. Control just gives me that. Yeah, I haven't had Redbook work on this yet, for whatever reason. Because that would be, I don't know where the customization for that would be. So we go to say Activision. This is some sort of header stuff. This might be what we want config-wise. Nothing I can read. Can't load all that. That's fine. Don't know why. Here we are. Is there anything in your mech folder? No. Yeah, all of it's binary files, right? Sure. Yeah, let's see if what MechWarrior 2, if anyone has any information on that. Mm-hmm. So I think I have a set. Do I have set blaster set? I thought I did now. Yes. We have a set blaster variable. So I'm not exactly sure why there's no Redbook audio. But that's been consistent, at least from when I've been using the system. Let's see here. So we have MIDI controls there. But again, I'm not sure where we would config MechWarrior in that regard. So for the other sound card I have in my other machine, that seemed to work just fine for Redbook audio. I do not know why that would be not the case here. And actually, let me go back to my Rage install for the help file. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to have to pivot, I think. Because again, like, it's connected. It's probably that there's something with the install itself that doesn't see that there's Redbook available. I don't know exactly. And I don't know how I would even configure that or begin to fix that. I'm sure there's a way. Maybe there's a regedit. All the MIDI. Okay. So let's go to regedit. Usually it's like gonna be a local machine software place. Activision. MechWarrior 2. So those are basic graphics things. Nothing here striking me as setting up for Redbook versus not Redbook. Nothing for Yamaha really sticking out. And if I go to audio properties, I say through feedback, acceleration, best. So we have that or nothing else. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Either way, so now we come to MechWarrior. We're going to go to Voodoo version. Full blown there at least. That's not going to affect anything. Yeah, I don't know where that would be modified. Anyway. It loads. 3D effects.
Welcome to Training Cadet. I like to think of this lovely place as my home. Now you wouldn't even think of upsetting me in my home, would you? Of course you would. So do what I say when I say, and I won't get upset. I do bad things when I'm upset. So what do you say we do a little nab? Just sit there, Cadet. Punch N on the console to target nearest nav point. Use the numbers across the top of the console to manipulate the throttle. Set it to half by hitting 5. Pull the mech to the left with your joystick and line up on nav alpha. Follow the arrow on the compass at the top of the HUD to find it. Line up those indicators from...
But yeah, this is Glide. Now, there are other global options. There are other variables I can pass. What up?
Do you need the oven still on for the
As long as it's dry, that's all I care about. Yeah, thanks. So yeah, but here's Glide, which is besides running this before, this is the second time I've ever been able to see 3D effects Glide version of MechWarrior 2 actually run.
Once you hit nav alpha, the next nav in the sequence, nav beta will load automatically. Look up at the heading indicator. You'll see that nav beta is off to the right. Head for nav beta.
But yeah, so like I found overall, I think the Glide version runs a lot better.
Here is a real help. Click on the autopilot by hitting A. Notice how the mech will automatically follow the nav sequence you
Cool.
give while on autopilot.
Autopilot engaged.
Good work, Wet Nose. Mission almost accomplished. Hit A to disengage the autopilot. Set throttle to 1 and await instructions from TZ. You drive like a freebird cadet.
Autopilot disabled. Incoming message. Training command. Proceed to nav delta and dock at next day 5.
At least graphically it works.
Mission successful.
Let's see if we get some technical help here. Sure, troubleshooting. Audio. Huh. Audio questions. Sounds fuzzy. So odd. I'm just not. Synthesizer, wave, line out. I don't think I want to see. Advanced controls, advance. Not sure what that is. Properties. See CD audio. Let's see. Okay, so wavetable. CD audio's full. Waves full, sense is full, lines down, we can mute that. Mono in, mute, microphone muted. Software wavetable we can bring up, I guess. Does maybe MechWarrior 2 doesn't like the OPL3 card? Maybe. Out. Anyway. I don't know. So, like, we could try setup to see if that helps, actually. That may not be a bad idea. Hang on. Idea. Maybe a brilliant idea. If we have it here. Do we have a setup utility at all? Probably not. Not that I see. Okay. 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 Yeah, I think we're a little SOL there. DOS has one. That's cool. For a quick test, we can go to, what's it, entertainment, CD player, track 2. I mean, CD music plays. I don't know what to tell you. Oh, hang on. All right, so someone's saying it might be that only the clan places have MIDI music. Only the missions have CD music. So let's test that. Hold on. Just hold on. Everyone, relax. Relax. Perfect.
Planet Colmar. Ambient temperature 45.60 degrees. Local time
Yep.
is 19:34:23 GST. All systems nominal.
Do we just lock up? Okay, so anyway, that looks like that's standard operating procedure, though, is that we have CD audio works through missions. MIDI is through the halls. There is no audio during the training. So that's as designed, basically. Okay, but anyway, that's a demonstration of MechWarrior 2. Well, let's get some other stuff. Because, yes, there are more games to try and see. For instance, one that you had brought up before was TUROK 2. Or, sorry, TUROK 1. TUROK 1. Though I think TUROK 2 might even work on here, too. Because it's looking for, like, a Pentium 200. Might be slightly outclassed the processor I got. Might be fine. Yay! Yeah, there was... I think it was when I installed... What was it? One of the games I installed that was modifying auto-exec. It actually added that no logo. I'm like, why would you do that? But check it out. 640 by 480, Voodoo 1. CD music. Let's go. Oh, just you hear that? That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. One thing I do want to adjust at some point. I don't know if I can or how, but FOV. Because I've gotten spoiled with TUROK 2. This is bananas. I don't even meet the monkey. Do I think I go here for that pistol? I mean, TUROK 1 runs perfect. Like, TUROK 1 is definitely a true celebration of glide across the board. Again, I think there might be some opportunities to tweak some settings in glide. I haven't dealt with it too much yet, so I can't really say. I'm also not sure if like auto aim is on right now or anything. There are other options in the launcher I have to adjust. But for a base Voodoo 1 experience, bro, this is it. This does it. Shotgun shells? Thank you. That's a very good question. I was kind of wondering that myself because of basically there are games that definitely won't use it by default or take advantage of the memory by default. But there's plenty of the, even like Windows games. Like they're using like a Glide 2 driver. Like this install for my Voodoo 1 came with a Glide 2 driver, no Glide 1 DLL. I had to manually pull that off of another driver disk to run MechWarrior 2. So it's very possible that there's some option there for maybe leveraging that memory. All the tests I've seen so far were with like Tomb Raider. So I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of other Glide games though. And it might be because they're just testing something that was very uniquely working with Glide or the Voodoo 1 card only. That's possible. But as we've seen with testing, the more interesting test is looking at the combination of games that uniquely might work for the card, as well as how it enhances games that it's more than capable of running or something else outside that environment a bit. Like for the Voodoo 5, a lot of it was, how does it handle some older games too? Like older Glide stuff. I think for the Voodoo 1, it's going to be a combination of those DOS games, as well as a lot of the Windows experience. Oh, it's toggle, okay. So you're right, I think if one were to put more memory in the Voodoo 1, you might be able to crank out a higher resolution. I don't see why not necessarily. Now that being said, is that a high priority to me? I mean, it'd be nice in some ways for sure. But in other ways, it's like, I mean, there's so many aspects of the Voodoo 1 are tied to really running in a 640 or 480. Some games default to that. and assume that you're running 640 with 480 unless you're something weird. Even to the point of like newer cards just because they hit an older game. Yeah, that's what I watched before, and all of those were with Tomb Raider though. As if I recall correctly, like none of those were with another game. Now there'd be a bit of work to mod my card too. Like, it's a very moddable card. It being a Maxi Gamer 3D, could be done. I'm actually very surprised someone like Bits and Bolts hasn't tested other games yet. Except if I recall correctly, I believe it's only been Tomb Raider. This feels like a very N64 fight. That's a very N64 fight. Oh yeah, he also did Unreal. You're right. He did do Unreal. Yes. And I think there were some maybe slight improvements. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've watched the Unreal video. But honestly, especially with the Voodoo 1, I think Unreal's the wrong game to play with it. Like, games like Turok, like, again, Mech Warrior, Myth, some of the other ones we'll look at shortly here. Like, I think there's plenty of other games that are well within the performance spec of the Voodoo 1 as it is. That would be where I'd expect to check out the Voodoo 1 in terms of performance, and not... Like, Unreal is such an... I find it inappropriate game to try just because it's so demanding. I mean, it's a good, like, high-end test, I suppose, in a lot of ways, but the bottlenecks you get from it, especially with the card like the Voodoo 1, I think you're more so just going to emphasize more bottlenecks and not really see, does it perform well? Is it like, AKA, is there a real benefit to having the upgrade, not just, what's it capable of not running well? So I think that's a bit of a misnomer with a lot of the retro stuff at times, is that, and I've fallen into this too, where it's like, it's interesting to see how far you can go with something and see all the like access to video modes, or technically running a game, or at least have it execute but not actually run well to a playable state. It's kind of cool. Oh, I need a... How do I switch shells? Is it... No, that's not it. Hang on, let me see what... do I not have the controls in front of me? So this will be just my level keys, yeah. It's a tab. No, that's auto map. It's possible, but so here's the thing about OpenGL too, though, is that you have strict limitations with OpenGL with the glide card too. Like, yeah, there's min-GL drivers and stuff, but OpenGL ain't super great on the glide cards either in general. So, like, again, you're kind of like, what are you actually testing here? It might make more resolutions available on a min-GL driver, which, by the way, you're also dependent on any kind of assumptions that that driver puts on what you're actually running. You know, there's that too. it might be where that locks out certain. Well, it's going to lock out certain extensions, but is it going to lock out color rate? Is it going to lock out other resolutions? Because it's like, who's going to use these anyway? Like, you're so beholden to that environment for hang on, to glide in that regard. Instead of something that's just using straight up glide renderer, which is going to be the card on its best foot, give it some more memory. Besides, like, a built-in renderer limiting resolution, like Glide, even with the Voodoo 1, it can support other resolutions and max out on refresh rate for said larger resolutions. Even Direct 3D, it supports higher resolutions. Like, there's that. So, you know, what can it do on its best foot? In a game that's more than capable of it. Gosh, these enemies spawning fast. Am I TUROK yet? I'm trying to think of even if something like 3D Mark. I think 3D Mark does measure the card with more memory. Like, I think there were some Bits and Bolts did some tests with something like 3D Mark 99 or something. I still got tech arrows. I really don't want tech arrows right now, though. I mean, they're kind of OP at the moment. Oh, yeah. Nah. When it comes to football, I have more interest in the regular season than playoffs. Except for there's like a couple storylines that happen during playoffs. Especially when it's a case of, like, the Super Bowl was the Niners and Chiefs. I got no skin in the game for either team. They're both fine teams. The Niners are probably much more impressive, but I have no crazy reason to watch them. It's fine. That's what it comes down to. Yeah, those teams are fine. There's a YouTube content creator I follow. He won Fan of the Year for the NFL Honors Awards, and he's at the game. Like, I had interest in that because I follow him, and he does good work. He does, like, charity work and stuff. Besides that, though, like, I don't care. Oh, missed it. I shorted myself on that jump. That's fair. Yeah, hang on. Let's climb back up. Oh. Okay. Okay. Ah, this FOV throws me off so bad. So close. And there's auto aim. Again, I wonder if these are all adjustments I can do in the launcher. Then again, like, when one bullet's killing everything, this is not TUROK 2. Not TUROK 2 at all. Especially the respawning enemies. Like, that's just bananas. Alright, I think we gotta go in the water. See what's there. Gotta go in the water. Health. It's health. That was not worth it. Dang it. Was there anything else over here? That's where I came from. I guess I turned the corner and this is where my teleport out is. Okay. Sure. Yep. Yep. More key. More keys to find this level. That's it. Hey, hey! Calm down. I am trying to find keys. Now, I could have stayed outside, just pistol them, I suppose, but this is TUROK. We're here to knife right now. So, ooh, assault rifle. Oh, well, well, well. See, that respawn rate's just ridiculous, right? Gosh. It's really ahead of its time. Experimental. I mean, it's certainly like kind of a proof of concept-esque feel, just because it's not... It's a graphics engine, it's not super pushing everything, like draw distance... Well, okay. I say that playing the PC ports, so... You know, could be completely just incorrect in that regard, but... You know, things, especially compared to TUROK 2, feel much simpler, much more primitive. Maybe that's part of the reason for that feel. It feels like an iteration, an early iteration of whatever the game is going to be and what the technology is. I wish pressing the gun button twice would give me an option of switching ammo, because I have zero interest in using explosive shells right now. Hang on. Not only do I have zero interest, I have zero reason. Yeah. And it's like, it's still a bit maze-like, and corridor base like Turok 2, but you just like it's weird you get this visibility between walls everywhere and such. Like it feels less structured in a sense. Like I see the form of rooms and structures and things I'm traversing, but it doesn't like feel like a whole structure or building or like town, but the things that like Turok 2 gives. Like certainly Turok 2 feels more like I'm visiting real places, doing real things in real places. That's kind of what strikes me with this. Alright, I think we about visited everywhere. Is it here? No. Is it here that I got to the teleporter? Now, of course, the very shallow draw distance also sort of adds to that feeling. Like, Turok 2 doesn't have the furthest draw distance either, but I feel like at least it's a bit further than this. And now maybe that changes with different levels. Like maybe they are a little bit more indoors, closed off. Like we had some of those caves. You know, that's kind of like that. I am, at some point, going to be Turok. Oh yeah, right click is jump. Right click would be good for swapping alt ammo. You can't change ammo types in Turok 1? Why? Why, oh why is that the thing? I guess I jump down here. Like, I don't want to blow through a bunch of explosive shells right now. I really don't need to. I'm mainly using the pistol because there's plenty of ammo and most of the enemies go down pretty quick with it. Because I'm Turok, that's why. Use all your explosive ammo first. Okay, I mean, if I can't switch, then yeah, I guess whatever. I guess we're... Alright. I guess whatever. If I want to be a big boy and use, rail shells, I gotta just, you know, do this. Oh, okay. I get behind that I am Turok. Okay. That is a different I am Turok, and it is a good I am Turok. Approved. Did I not get level? I thought I got some level 3 keys. Yeah. Okay. So I think I missed a level 2 key. That's fine. We can always go back for that. Yeah, that's TUROK. We could play lots of TUROK, as you can imagine. That is under a claim. Well, let's see what options they give us here in the launcher. Video. Yup. Performance settings. Yeah, maybe we get an 800 by 600 with more video. Separates. Eyes I can go. Setup, keyboard, what we got? Strafe, row view, shrink view. Maybe that's FOV. Should we try it real quick? Plus and minus. Let's try it. I know where the key I'm missing is too, also on that first level. I didn't think I could reach it, but maybe I could. Oh. That's what they do. Okay. Not what I want. Let's see, TUROK. PC. Can I even change the FOV? No, not this one. Not that one. Let's see. Can be extended with a patch. Oh, geez. Okay, so in short, no, doesn't look like TUROK 1 allows for FOV adjustment. There's a patch to do like direct 3D hackery, but nothing for TUROK 1. So you play it like that. That's how TUROK 1 is. Oh, you're exactly right. Yeah, it was a viewport size. You were 100% right. You won the prize. Good job. That's TUROK 1. Now let's move on to more demonstration. Another game that actually was not using Glide was LAPD Future Cop. Guess what? It uses Glide now. Haha. Now, what are the controls on keyboard and mouse? I don't know. Boop. 3D effects. Pop-a-pew. The video playback is a bit slow. So right now it's running pretty good. A little hitchy, but... Oh yeah. Mendoza. Mendoza. Preferences, controller preference. So we're using numpad, space for gun weapon, alt control, Z is jump. So action is 2, change target 0. Okay, I think I get what they're trying to do. Okay, I think we can do this. We can go 800 by 600 on this. We're going to try 640 by 480 first. But yeah. And we just start.
Mysterio's in the observatory. Take him out. Crowd control situation.
This is glide, man. Smooth.
Proceed to the west and head for that gate. That's your way in.
LAPD, ineffectual as always, I presume.
Let's see what was jump. That's missile.
I can see the gate.
Yeah.
The gun is in your way. Take it out.
Yeah, LAPD though. Runs pretty good. So... Oh, crap. LAPD, in some ways it didn't. Mostly it was me trying to get Glide going on the Voodoo 5, which doesn't happen. It runs direct 3D. Now, that being said, I mean, I'm fine with that. Let's see, I think I'm one. It wasn't shift, it was Z. No, Z is jump. Alt.
Intruder alert.
Show me Mendoza! Where is Mendoza? Keep hitting the Windows key. That's annoying. Let's see, I think that's action.
That's a gun weapon power up.
Alright. Might need to go 800 by 600 on this to see everything. Sweet. I mean, that's a control bad on the keyboard.
Watch your step.
Intruder alert.
Dang it. No. Try to get these mines. There we go. So anyway, let's abort. Let's try 800 by 600 and see where that gets us.
Mysterio's in the observatory.
Oh yeah,
Take him out.
performance is a bit
Crowd
hit.
control situation.
but now like the crowd control stuff works decently well. Whoops. I want an alt.
Proceed Proceed to the west and head for that gate. That's your way in.
LAPD, ineffectual as always, I presume.
I can see the gate. The gun is in your way. Take it out.
Ah! But yeah, it's a lot easier on a controller where I have strafing. It's a little bit more readily available than like how it is on the keyboard. There's a little bit of brain flopping I'm having to do strafing and such. It's not bad. Yeah, as you see, there is certainly a performance hit for going 800 by 600.
Intruder alert.
That's very doable. Why don't you let me target you? No, you're gonna run away? Alright. Bam. That's basically what I want to see. I want to see if the reload action key was doing anything.
That's a gun weapon power-up.
If it would still be cut off, which looks like it isn't. So 800 by 600 is kind of the ideal for this, I think.
Plasma mines in your area. Watch your step.
Intruder alert.
Let's see, we do a little that, well, that. Try and hit that bridge. There we go.
Watch it. They've got air support. Take that. Nice shot.
Bam. We shoot the bad guys. You're under arrest. Bang. You're under arrest. Bang.
That's a shield police reloader.
May not need it yet. Hang on. Let's do. There we go.
Groovy. The exit is clear. Move out.
Anyway. Please stop resisting. He's got a gun. That's where you can modify things. Difficulty, sliders, all that good stuff. Anyway, yeah. Glide works good. So, yeah, it's good to see LAPD Future Cop work good on Glide. I believe there was a glitch with viewing lasers, like laser gates, but overall, runs good. So, as I drop the disc. But yeah, now Glide Renderer is available to us with that. Oh, let's see, what's next? Let's do Blaze and Blade. Because Blaze and Blade also works with the Voodoo 1. And it's another game I'm like, what are the controls without the controller? Because I am, like, dependent on a gamepad for something like this. Dependent. 3D FX Glide, 640 by 480 is available, as we know, as we've tried before to do something that's not 640 by 480, but that's the deal. That's what it does. .3FX, yay! So, preferences, controls, keyboard, numpad 9 and 1 for, so turn left, menu back, turn right. There's 3. What? To continue, okay. Player 1, up is up, down, left, right. Attack is control left. Special is shift left. Jump is alt. Space is icon. Casting spell is F1. Okay, so I'm kind of keeping in this realm. Okay. As you see, it renders. And we'll go with a hunter. Yes. Do I go? You want me to type it in? I guess so. Yes. Water. It's my protective. I got those bonus points. Okay. Okay. Put the part together. And then okay. How do I? Cool. Trying to remember. Yes. Okay. F2. Yeah, so and we don't really have much. I think there's some texture filtering, but not really a whole lot. Also, using Control and Alt and Spacebar hurting my left hand. Yes, it is. It is most unintuitive. And because this hurts my hand so much, Oh, it just hurts my left hand to use the Control Alt Shift stuff. Ugh. But yeah, I mean, it runs good. Voodoo, Glide. Let's go. What else we got? Oh, we have. I think. Well, it'll be this and Tomb Raider. Tribes. Tribes 1, of course, runs on the Voodoo 1 in a system like this. 100%. And this was probably my test game I was using for... This was the test game I was using for CD audio initially. Ugh. And I was like, in the pinch, I was the only Tribes background I could really find. So they had like a different background than the standard. Like, honestly, I don't know why I would do DOS with Quake 2 when I have like a min drive, a Voodoo driver already for Quake 2. But even then, I don't know. So options. Let's go to graphic detail. That's all I'm high, 100%. See if we can do OpenGL or software, but we do Glide, baby. And we got 640 to 480. That's what we got. We got IRC servers in case we want to get some of those going. I would do some training. That's gonna be the easiest thing right now. Oh. And this is Tribes 1.11. So this will be what you'd use for online play. And in general, so Tribes 1 has some really funky physics, okay? Basically, to make platforms and all of that, you kind of queue up your movement and then hit the jetpack and let the jetpack kind of carry you. So, like, I'm not doing much adjustment in midair when I'm doing this. I jump forward, let go. Ugh. It's tough. Let go of the directions or whatever I'm using and let the jetpack do the rest. Ugh. Like that. So it almost feels like a slingshot for the physics. But if we're going to look at something that's going to be a little more representative, let's do some weapons. We won't spend too much time on this, but yeah, weapons. Though I'm also playing without a... It's a 2-button mouse with no scroll wheel. It's interesting. I felt my finger try to scroll a few times, and there's nothing to scroll. I am ready. Alright, where's my target? Bam. Right. So yeah, it takes some getting used to for like having non-scroll wheel mouse. But yeah, Tribes works. Tribes would definitely hit some performance issues with high detail. I probably need to adjust that for competitive play. And player, like, avatars far away get a little jaggy, riffic. It works. It runs pretty good, though. Like, it was built for the time, for that kind of card, and it does well with it. So on and so forth. Right. That's what it feels like. It's part of the experience. I'm getting super nostalgia for like the beige stuff because I got my Logitech beige keyboard, my beige Memorex mouse, and my beige old tower, and it has a old school feeling 52x CD drive in it, so it sounds, runs, and button click feels all like just old school CD-ROM drive, like from a computer at the library sort of thing. So like that's what made me also think, gosh, I feel like I built the slightly lower spec, oh, not slightly, it's a bit lower spec flavor of your e-machines, basically. Yeah, and so instead of doing DOS Quake 2, I'm going to do straight up Quake 2 in Windows because it should have a built-in NFGL driver for 3DFX, if I recall correctly. And I kind of want to see what Vanilla 1 looks like there with the Voodoo 1. I forget the performance that it's like, but I suspect it's not super great. Because, especially with Quake 2, Unreal, of course, that era of FPS, you're really hitting the upper limit of what the Voodoo can really do well. And again, I got other machines that run Quake 2 better, even in Windows 98. Like the Voodoo 5, that's Quake 2 goes on that. I've tried the DOS flavor as well. There's not a lot to gain from that. Like we talked about Quake 2 DOS before with, I think it was with my other 98 machine, or was that with the Armada laptop? And it didn't run like 100% of what I expected. I think I had some troubles with it before. But on the whole, I don't anticipate seeing a whole lot of difference. There probably is some performance overhead difference, but I don't foresee a lot of difference between running DOS Quake 2 and running Windows Quake 2 if I'm trying to leverage the Voodoo. And that's skipping the Rage card in there, which mine has memory expansion, by the way. For us, just so you know. It's pretty cool like that. Okay, Quake 2. Let's see what we can do with you. Vanilla Quake 2. This all looks fine. See what it does for the demo. That looks like OpenGL. Looks Spring. No. Free look, yes. Yep. So yeah, to give you an idea of... Oh yeah, you could just put some sockets in there. That'd be the way to go. Uh-huh. Tab, enter, that's all fine. But yeah, give you an idea of how early the version of Quake 2 this is. This is when they don't default WSAD. So, yeah. Yeah, I can understand for the Voodoo 2 for sure. But, and I've seen that, like, well, the use of sockets was weird with the Voodoo 1 upgrade. But, okay.
Establish communications.
It's feeling good so far. There are hitches, for sure. There is some frame loss. But, I mean, definitely is playable. Shoddy. It's not bad. Very doable. That's true. Yeah, that'd be good for the Rage. Now, did you decide on what memory chips to try for the Rage? My frame rate loss is not going to save you. I'll tell you that right now. You're still turbo screwed. Lighting looks good. I mean, you can see definitely compared to software rendering, you get the smoother textures on the guns and such. Definitely some resolution loss with using the Voodoo 3D effects Voodoo with 640 to 480, but it's not a whole lot you can do about that. Ow! Oh, if that's how it's gonna be, well, let's just disagree with what you're doing there. Ow! Jerk. Get off of me. Uh-oh. Up! 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 Now he died. Shells. Open. Bam. Okay. Did the Lemon have badass soundtrack? God, Quake 2 is so good. Oh, Quake 2 is so good. Badass soundtrack. Badass game. Let's go. I think it did. Oh, man. I don't think it was a Rage card either, though. What would that have been? I don't know. But what I do know is Tomb Raider is kind of funny. So, there's the stack of Clydes I've been trying. I tried a little bit of Tomb Raider, okay? Is the audio desynced? I didn't think it was desynced for me. Maybe it's desynced for the capture. It sounded fine to me. It was hard to tell sometimes too because there were some hitches in gameplay, but it didn't feel desynced to me. Okay, Tomb Raider. Yes, runs in. It does run in 3D effects mode. No issues with the graphical end of it. Sound is the puzzling thing to me, and that's just because, number one, the driver I had before was using Windows sound system because I'm running it through Windows, and volume control didn't do what I expected it to do. Now, I have another driver installed, so let's see how this does for auto detect. That's more of what I expected. Okay. So I'm assuming there's going to be no audio here. There's music for CD audio music, yeah. But I was using... So, okay. In general, what I kind of assumed was going to happen was... And that's what happened to me with Tomb Raider before on the other system too, is that through Windows, sound support is really weird and bad. But through something like DOS mode, better results overall. So what I want to do here is, I had to see what all is in the directory first before I jump in. This is also with not having like a CD driver set up for DOS mode. I haven't done much of DOS mode yet, at all. So setup is probably what I use there. I could try to do this manually. Let's see if I can run this through a window. Will allow me to do windowed. Oh shoot, I didn't. So this is what I had before. Using Microsoft Sound System. Does it work? Nope, locks up. 100% locks up. Yep. That's fine. End it, please. Yeah, it was a WDN or whatever, Windows, it's WMD maybe. Yeah, WMD, like Windows Movie Device, whatever. It was for this video card using Windows Sound System, which sounds like garbage and is not the way to go. So I have another driver installed, but that does complicate setup now. So what I need to do here is see what I have Sound Blaster set up for Set Blaster. So just let me take a picture real quick. And hopefully this will just work if I set it up this way instead of having to jump into DOS and run it through DOS, which I could do. Okay. So that way I remember my settings here. And that should carry over. Setup. So now what I want to do is use manually select card. I think this would be a Sound Blaster Pro equivalent. It's not going to be new media, not ad-lib. I think so. 2020. DMA is 1. IRQ is 5. Test. Locked up. Locked up. Yes. Okay, so what we will try to do then is go into DOS mode and see what we get. Alright, so this is cool. This is what we want first. This gets us information on what everything is happening with our Yamaha card. This is part of the auto exec. Which, just for my information, we're going to keep basic settings right now. bring up back chat so I don't miss anything. Though if there was something new that you said, Sam, I totally missed it because I accidentally reloaded chat. So, if there's like a couple sentences you said in the past 5 minutes, I probably missed it. Sound Blaster on the whole looks good mixer-wise. Windows sound system, again, I'm trying not to use that this time around. We're going to go with Sound Blaster. Everything else should be off. Yep. Windows sound system error. Perfect. Great. Don't know what that would be all about. Is it because it's using the same IRQ as Sound Blaster? Let's have you go to 11. IO error. What would be the IO error here? I could try a different address. I think you were on 80 before, actually. No. Let's do that. Let's do back to 5. Cool, man. Do I need Windows sound system here? Okay. Cool. Great. We're going Tomb Raid, right? Something else in program files. Yeah, that's Tomb Path. I guess it's in program files, huh? Is that program files? Yeah, I thought there was Tomb Raid. I think setup's what I want. Yeah, so I need a little CD. Looks like I got a CD driver set up here. Okay, that's cool. Okay. I can also check my Yamaha settings here for other Windows sound system settings if I want to try to run Tomb Raider through what you call it, Windows environment instead of DOS. Though I would admit I've had better luck with Tomb Raider running through DOS. I just hope it doesn't take forever to get back to Windows. That'd be annoying. Let's restart. I didn't see any hard drive activity going on, so screw it. Okay, so I did have audio working through for Tomb Raider through Windows Sound System with the WDM driver or whatever, and like I said, it sounded like crap. But that was using built-in drivers. I was gonna stick with that. That was, you know, like even startup now. There was like a missing note kind of issue on startup with the other driver, which again isn't surprising. What would be the easiest way if I wanted to get DOS CD compatibility going? I'm trying to think of if Windows 98 has a readily available CD driver, or if I'm going to have to pull one out of my but here there's not gonna be mouse because I don't have. I usually use Cute Mouse for that, but that's not around right now in Windows 98. I assume the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, Carlos, because you're going Chiefs. Yes, they did. Oh, it's gonna be unbearable. Another Chiefs Super Bowl win. Okay. Let's do. I think there's like an Oak driver or something, right? But yeah, Oak is probably not there, is it? Okay, I may have to search for that, which I'm not going to do that now. Not right now. That's another time. Anyway, so if we go to... Let's go to our Yamaha stuff. What's our name? Control panel. OPL 3. Quality's excellent. That's what I'm really looking for. About a multimedia, advanced properties. Yeah, nothing there that's screaming at me. Oh yeah, I think this the OPL 3 card also supports. I think it has a 1 meg for sound fonts, and then you can also. I think there might be a header to add more for this card. I think. Let's see, audio devices. Settings. This is saying Sound Blaster's 2490. Interesting. So what would happen if I set Sound Blaster to that? If I follow what Windows is doing for Windows sound system. So this is going to be, this is something I haven't quite gotten a handle on yet in terms of setting Blaster and Sound Blaster settings in general, is that I have found often in the past differing settings in a Windows environment with like a Windows driver compared to what I would expect for, say, I think Type 4 is Pro, I think. Then what I would see like in pure DOS. So I don't know if that's so much of just kind of a difference in what's loaded up in a pure DOS environment. Oh, I don't know how we source those. I am going to take a picture of these settings though. Okay. Okay. That's all for MIDI stuff, mixer stuff, line in, all of that. Video compression. Oh yeah, I did add some codec stuff here. That's right. Okay, so we're gonna give a fresh restart. And I'm going to try set up again, not with auto detect, but with just using the Sound Blaster settings in Windows, and see if that yields me better results, basically. Since in theory, that should be what Windows environment is. I'm not going to use Windows Sound System. What's Type 4? I think Type 4 is Pro. Yeah, it is. So I thought it was. I'm not crazy. Yeah, in terms of him sourcing those sockets, that might be random eBay stuff. I don't know if there'd be like a supplier. We can always pay them too, I guess. Let's bring this up. I mean, there could, if you know the name of the socket, there might be an AliExpress solution there too, honestly. That probably wouldn't be a bad route to go. Let's go ahead and let's bring in Tomb Raider again. Yeah, because like, if it's possible to kind of keep all of these Windows sound system settings and Sound Blaster settings uniform across Windows environment and DOS environment, that would be convenient for me, at least. Sound setup. Manually select a card. Sound Blaster Pro. As long as the stuff is there available for actually configuring it. It's not something weird. 240. Okay. DMA 0. IRQ 9. We'll do 7. Continue. Save settings. I hear audio. I mean, it's good. I was expecting that to work since I thought I configured this for a different IRQ than what it gave me available. But whatever, I guess. Let's double check this, see if there's a config file I can just change up real quick. Yeah, that's what I want. So, let's cheat. Let's see if I can do 9 here. I mean, if this doesn't work, then I'll do 7. That's fine. In that case, we go to Tomb 3DFX. Yay! Yeah. Yeah. Let's also get back to chat because I got logged out. You got the socket thing figured out? Wait, we got... Alright, so the audio in this sounds a bazillion times better with the driver I'm using. I did everything right because everything was crap before. Is mint mapping better than normal? I forget. Sounds good. Game's there. New game. We know what this is. We know how the cinematic goes. But yeah. Let me check it out. I don't know what the controls are for keyboard, but that's at least how you fire the guns, so that's good. Alt's jump, okay. Sounds in sync to be there. there like F keys for Tomb Raider also? You know what I mean? Hang on, I'm gonna minimize out chat again to see if I can find Tomb Raider settings. DOS. F keys. Blah, 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 blah. Run, hop back, walk, jump. Combo moves. Don't care about that. Inventory, da da da. No, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. I think it's might have what I'm looking for. DLC achievements, gamepad. Secret Tombs, Magic Mouse. Screenshots run slowly. That's not. No, that's what I want. So it's F1 that goes between them. So, is it? I don't know what each key does. That seems a lower resolution. Or at least smoothing of some kind. Okay. Does that pause it? Yeah, it's a detail level. That's saving. Okay. Well, overall, it seems to run good. Okay, so you said, okay, I see. What is it that you see? Somebody just grab. Yes, there is. Okay, it's when you don't have the guns out, the fire button. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, whatever reason I didn't see the chat going on there. Which I don't think I see it going on the stream either. So cool, Restream's really helping me out. Good. That's good. We just refresh that. I guess try refreshing YouTube chat. See if that helps. Anywho, yeah, 3D effects works good. Tomb Raider looks great. Sound is now working good because I decided to put on my big boy hat and smarts and just look up the settings Windows is using for Sound Blaster and do that. That's on Restream. Got it. But yeah, like, zero complaints, man. everything throwing at this in terms of voodoo stuff, 3D effects stuff, it's running good. And now it sounds good too. I'm really happy I replaced that sound driver. So the sound driver actually had to find more of a generic Yamaha install. And because I didn't want to burn a disk, I just extracted out stuff onto a flash drive and went that route. And then manually install, basically it's a Windows 95 driver, but then manually install that for the sound driver. I almost went to the wrong computer there. And it works out good. It's like an OEM card of some kind. So is my 3Com network driver. Actually, I end up using a Dell driver for that. But yeah. So, gosh, what else? We installed Quake 2, and that worked good. What about Episode 1 Racer? Is that going to be too much for the system? Yeah, I agree. It's really nice that the card's working. And it works so well on this system, too. Like, I think this is a really nicely configured PC overall. We haven't even tried any of the VFX1 stuff yet. Like, this has been all Voodoo stuff. All Voodoo stuff, right? And a little ATI. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. I don't have Shadows of the Empire, and I don't have a burnt copy of Shadows of the Empire, so I cannot try Shadows of the Empire. I guess if you think about the current system here, like, it's a lot better components than what the Lemon was, but this is pretty close to the Lemon system. Because that was a socket 7, using some, I think it was a K62 that was using. What was the onboard video on that, though? It was something really garbo, and I don't think it was an ATI garbo chip either. That might have been an SIS thing? I would have to probably look up the HP Pavilion model, honestly. But I vaguely recall just being problems with that. Like, it would run 2D stuff fine, like you get Warcraft 2 or something going, that's fine. But, it was a bear with other stuff. Maybe it might have been 300 megahertz. I'm trying to think of what expansion slots it even had. Gosh, I don't know. I still have to get DOS stuff set up. So I think that will probably be next steps for the system, is number one, get the VFX1 stuff set up, which involves hook up the hardware itself and seeing how it works through Windows, but then also in concert with that, and for other games, getting my DOS environment set up. So that'll be mouse driver, CD driver, making sure sound drivers are working good. They're installed, they just need to be configured. And then kind of one at a time for games and demos and everything, having correct settings, and probably set up some DOS shortcuts or something maybe for a lot of that. Because there's like a lot of the VFX1 stuff, they what do I have here right now? Do I have DX Diag? Yeah, love that DX Diag I could run. Okay, I got 6.1a. I think we're good. Hardware config. Just DirectX driver? Is that all you got? Does Racer support Glide at all? I don't think it does. Or is that like a separate patch? So at first I thought it kind of did. I've at least seen it come up in like coverage for Voodoo cards. But on both my main Windows 98 system and now this, I don't see like explicit Glide drivers. I kept on thinking it was. Is it just a DirectX game? We know Star Wars. Star Wars. 3D works, though. No, it's using 3D effect. Yeah, it's using the Voodoo DirectX driver. So it's not using the Rage card, which is probably for the best. Rage card's got more memory. Just probably crappier GPU. Oh gosh. Was the I'm not sure what the button is to boost, but that's not it. That's not it. Now this is pod racing, yes. And it runs really choppy. I probably want to bump down the resolution. Unless there's a glide driver. Is there a glide driver for this? I don't know. Again, this is also hitting like the upper end of what I'd really want to run on this system. Once again. Definitely not running Tribes 2. That's not in scope for this system. Next up. Myth, the Fallen Lords. I think this should be very much in the realm of we'll work on here. Version 1.2 of Myth. I have the whole trilogy on the side, but this is easier to grab. So, boom. Myth, myth, myth. That looks fine. Do large. It's kind of cool with the 3D only Voodoo cards that all you really need are the glide DLLs in the right spots, and you're kind of good to go. Not a whole lot to parse out there, really. It's not like with the Voodoo 5 and such. You need to have the proper driver package installed for everything because you got 2D and 3D happening on this card. But with something like the Voodoo 1, Voodoo 2, you know, I can just kind of pop in DLLs wherever, I mean, you can with other games as well, but yeah. 400 kibs? Oh boy. How much longer do you have for Icewind Dale there? Yay. And is this through your power outlet network still? Or is this limitation of your NIC on your E-machine? I got DirectX 6 installed, so... Huh. Let's play it. Oh, Halo, Halo, Halo. Halo, Halo, Halo. Oh, see, look. Oh, Myth supports the rendition, by the way. Just thought you should know. And we're not going to play this very long either, because I don't know anything about Myth in terms of playing it. It's more just, how does it render real quick? Render check. I need a, like, Myth will be a streamed game at some point. Hey! But not today. I need to learn Myth to play Myth. Yeah, render's good. Oh, there's more undead than I was expecting. Uh-oh. Those undead fiends. That's a little bit of time. Gosh, there's a lot of those undead guys. But yeah, it runs. Go Myth. Runs good. Runs as expected. Easy peasy. Ah. Understood. Diablo 2 could be tried, I guess. Let me see what I have over at the side here, if there's anything else to really dig our teeth into glide-wise. Like, there's... I don't think I have GL Quake handy, so I can't just try that, but we tried VinGL Quake 2, so I think that kind of tells the story there. Quake, like, GL Quake would run fine, you know. Let's see what we got over here. more glide to try. And up next is Power Slide. We are probably hitting the mid-range here because it's either for recommended, it's looking for a Pentium 2 with K62 or K62. Minimum is going to be a 133 megahertz or better CPU. So we'll see if the Voodoo helps us out here. It is listed as a supported GPU. Little Power Slide. I think in terms of all the games I couldn't really use Glide for, we've accomplished all of them with this system. Which is great, I mean. But yeah, I think at this point we'd be going into territory, except for like maybe Descent, but we're kind of getting into territory of Glide games that already work on the other machine too. There'll be some other DOS stuff to try, as Voodoo 5 DOS ain't super great, and that's where this machine here will really be handy. But on the whole, I think we've kind of hit all the most challenging Glide games to get running with the hardware we got. CPU's at a good moderate speed. We got all the GPU support. Bonus, we got a little bit of old ATI stuff too if we want. That'll be just a VFX1. I don't know what DirectX Media is. I figured install it. Worst case, reinstall DirectX 6.1 if that overrides something it shouldn't have. Whatever. And we figured out sound stuff beforehand, which was good. That was something that was slightly annoying to me. And Tomb Raider got solved just fine. So VFX1, there's a whole suite of supported demos for that, and I can show you that directory. All of it's DOS stuff, which probably ran through Windows just fine. I don't think I'd ever really jump into DOS to run it. That's gonna be like Magic Carpet, Doom is in there, Quake is in there. There's, what else was it? A couple like air combat, flight sim kind of games. I'll have to double check that folder. But those would be ones I'd be targeting first, just because literally the game drivers for the VFX1 are right there. Another one that would be relevant. There's actually a couple games I have that I think I got them through Steam originally. One of them I was using with the other 3D set. It's like a single, I think it is multiplayer. It's like a FPS, not too dissimilar to Tribes, with like it being very wide open spaces. But it has a bunch of video mode and video accessory support for the shutter glasses I got and the VFX1. The VFX1 I can never really quite get running right with it. But that'll be like, let me show you here. That's right, I think it's game. Yeah. I wonder if software stuff would want a big clock for Voodoo stuff. It's possible. I don't have much I'm really looking to software render though. I mean, that's kind of the thing. I could probably go up even to a faster processor, even so, like say 300, 400 megahertz, it'd probably still do fine. But really, I don't need to, honestly. Like I should say, like I understand this board is capable of a very fast processor compared to what's in there now, but for this configuration and like the stuff I'm looking around, like even the VFX1 stuff. Let me show the games. We go. Oh, actually, MechWarrior 2. Oh, that's interesting. Yes, but the games I'm looking to run on here, these are not heavy-duty games, especially for the Voodoo. Again, like Unreal might be up there. What I use for Quake. I mean, like some of that might be software rendered. There might be GeoQuake support. It depends on if it's Windows or not, because there is some Windows compatibility. But even so, like, am I really hitting enough games to really warrant needing a big fat CPU in there? I don't think so necessarily. I don't know if we're really quite getting there, even with the 200 megahertz. Even if I went to a 350, 400 megahertz CPU, like that would be plenty for Quake software rendering if we go that route. It's going to depend on. All right, so here's the thing too with the VFX1. With the card, so there's a way of running it through straight VGA, which requires its own breakout box. But traditionally, it's running through a ISA card I have in the system, which is limited to a very specific VESA video mode that is a stupid low resolution at like 256 color. So like, whatever I'm software rendering, I'm at such a low video mode, it doesn't even matter. Like, using that headset, I'm not going to be hitting a bottleneck with the CPU. Guarantee you that right now, using the VFX1. Straight up. Even using that, it's not going to be using the Voodoo even so, because it's running straight from the VESA port, or the feature connector VESA port on the ATI card. So, if it's going to be a video mode, GPU kind of bottleneck, the Voodoo is even involved with that at this point. If anything, it'll be just acting as a pass-through, because it won't be using the renderer. And that would be just whatever's output to VGA. And anything that going to the headset is going to be before the Voodoo. And yeah, it's just... It's weird. So, Wings of Glory, that's a game here. With it, yeah, so like here, this is more of the realm we're looking at for types of games, at least in DOS. Again, Windows is different, but that's not using like the accessory card here, and I don't know even if we got to a point, like say we somehow got all that stuff built up for the VFX1 in the pure Windows environment, which like, there's one particular flight sim game I have, which might work in native Windows like that. If it would even be supporting anything beyond motion tracking as a mouse emulator, as opposed to the actual stereoscopic 3D for the headset. But yeah, it's flight, what's it called here? Flight something or other. I forget. To give you an idea of kind of what the bash scripts are looking like. So, there is a driver that comes with the VFX1 that's basically a mouse emulator for the headset or for the puck. So there's some of that that's going on. Magic Carpet, Descent is in there, which that could be fun to try. Like that's one that usually worked okay when I get it going. Doom, which I think is just using, I don't even think it does stereoscopic 3D. I think that's just using the emulated mouse, if I'm not mistaken. The Death Manager. Okay. Okay, Doom. Yeah, so VR mouse. Here's where that is. But anyway, some of these are just going to be like using the headset for motion. The video's fed into the not great video display. Heretic, because Doom Engine. Locust. I can't remember if this is like the actual Locust game like I got over there. Or what? No, it's from 95. This is like much older. I forget what Locust is exactly. But I don't think it's like the one I have back there. But yeah, so there's that. And I noticed when I installed, because these are supposed to be like demos of each game, I noticed that each install would give some mention of like, hey, you need to have this this memory manager running in DOS when you're doing this. You need to have these stipulations set up, so on and so forth. So as I would go through each one of these, which I'm not ready to quite do yet, I would need to probably prepare those DOS shortcuts appropriately for all those to get that headset running. The Sense probably the easiest one to do. At least I've had the most success with that, but that's kind of where that falls in. Oh, yeah, we got Rot, which again, Wolfenstein engine stuff, Doom engine stuff, that's all kind of in the realm. This is, what's SK? Super Carts. So yeah, 94, 95, 96. That might be a good way to think about it. 1994, 1995, 1996, that's kind of where we're hitting for the heyday of this. But certainly there's other compatibility in various spots. Let's see here. So I go to game drivers. Is this going to be the same thing? Okay, so this is VFX Quake. So that's where I have the Quake one at. Duke Nukem, Blood. There's Flight Unlimited 2. There's Quake. Jedi Knight has some stuff. Hexen 2 does. So we get some Quake engine stuff overall. Quake 2, Redneck Rampage, some more build engine. Just a lot of build engine and Quake stuff here overall. So hey, we have Windows Quake. Cool. All that. VFX Quake, what's involved? That's like a whole patch. Okay. Never install for your Quake directory. Ignore this. Go to set VFX text. What's involved with Quake setup here? But yeah, we'd be definitely going through like a few steps. And another part of this too is that there are different versions of the VFX 1 drivers. And I don't believe all the latest driver isn't going to work with everything prior and things like that. So you kind of get into if I recall correctly, you get into a bit of a driver shuffling session going on with some of this. Yeah. It's kind of janky. Oh, it's a Yahoo user group picture. Aww. Comanche 3 drivers. Enables feature connector for Trio and Trio 64 cards. That's cool. There's your Flight Unlimited 2 patch. And Quake, Rise of the Triad. Redneck Rampage we saw. There's another version of the Quake driver. Quake 2. I think I tried Quake 2 before. I couldn't get that quite working right. It's Contacts 1 we didn't look at yet. It's all part of this user group. Interesting. And so the VFX 3D was a follow-up to the VFX 1, which got rid of the ISA card that I'm using right now for mine, and had like higher resolution, higher color depth for the displays and things like that, just because it wasn't using the feature connector. Basically, that was really the big limiting factor. Because at the time, there wasn't a fast enough bus to really use. Hexen 2, there's Blood, Duke Nukem. I just add Duke Nukem basically to the list. Okay, got it. But yeah, so Power Slide. We were doing Power Slide. This ball mouse works really nicely. I couldn't initialize sound Interesting. Let's go to options. Support texture method. Technical is different. Okay. Sure. Okay. See if that helps with my sound issue. Yeah, okay. Interesting. All that funky sound stuff. I may not have had to do the Force Glide 2 thing anyway, but Glide 2 is there. Rasputin. Perfect. Sounds great. Perfect. Okay. Good to know. Let's go back to options. Let's get rid of that. It's very cool. Very cool. Options. Sure. Hey. Perfect. It's like Dwayne had the fastest time. See, I think this game is like a bunch of dune buggies. It's dune buggy racing to the extreme. It's another interesting thing with some of these, especially the early Voodoo card sort of implementations here. You know, on the surface, you might be like, well, hey, you might need a higher end CPU for like some of the game stuff, especially when you're looking at what you would call games like this, for example, where it's recommended to have. Or, yeah, the recommended is like a 266 processor, things like that. But because of Glide limiting you to 640 by 480, and whatever Glide renderer is actually off-putting onto the GPU anyway, I find a lot of the times I just don't need the CPU headroom with what I'd be running on it, except if I'm doing something really crazy that's really out of spec. Like, severely out of spec. So, you know. I just kind of end up going, This this system has its own kind of lane with what games it can run for a variety of reasons. I stay in that. I'm good. It is running nice. It's running really nice. Easy to control, smooth. It's a weird combination of limitations. They get to where you kind of get a sweet spot, and, you know, there's not really much else needed, honestly. Again, I was slightly worried about the sound card because I never used it before. But I had some problems because I was like, it's an ISA card, so it might be alright. Once I got my DOS drivers and utilities, I'm like, okay. It should work out, and, you know, some fiddling with Tomb Raider, but I think there's enough to get there, so. I am, and again, I don't even have this thing maxed out in memory. I'm just using 128 megs. But for what I'm running, I don't need that much. Like, it's definitely an underutilization of the motherboard, but I mean, I guess that gives me headroom in some weird way. If there's other upgrade you want to do in the future, I suppose I could do that. But it makes everything just stable. Like, it's just a, you know, there's some setup, but once it's set up, like, it's just stable. And that's really nice. It's got some clear things it doesn't do, but then we just don't do the things it doesn't do. And a lot of that's going to be dictated by the GPU support. If I had, like, say, a better 2D card in here, like, say if I had a GeForce 2 in here, yeah, then we'd be talking, okay, maybe we could start leveraging the Super Socket 7 platform a little bit more to have some configurations to underclock, disable cache or something. This, I think, is like a 1 meg cache on board here. Things like that, maybe. But, especially with the Rage 2C, I mean, I'm not doing a whole lot beyond what the Voodoo's doing. There would be more of like an API advantage, like we saw with MechWarrior 2. I think there's like a soccer game that uses it as well. Oh yeah, I have not put Messenger on here yet. I got the NIC working. I actually don't have a network cable going to it yet either, in all honesty. We don't need native. Nah, we're good. Right. It'd be more of like, what can I do in software? Because as long as I could do it in software on this board, because it is all jumpers right now for the multiplier, the clock, and everything. Yeah, if that Super Socket 7 software allowed me to do it, yeah, I could do it. But I would be using other different equipment as well to fully take advantage of that CPU. But with my goals of doing, especially the VFX1 stuff, like, I'm just not. There's probably other Socket 7 boards I could use to do practically the same thing. Sure, they might even have some better, like, integrated sound device or something. Sure, 100%. But the board off the pile, it just happens to be a super awesome board. It just works. Like, look, we're just throwing games at it right now, and it's just running. I mean, come on now. Just like, come on now. At the end of the day, is this what I'm doing for controls? Nope. It's W. Is it this? What's my controls? I don't know my controls for this game. Alright. It's X? Okay. And this game is very touchy with the motorcycle too, like much more than Moto Racer by far. I see you're not running bug. Croc would be another option. I think I have Croc burned somewhere. I have to get a joystick set for this too, because I have a couple other game port joysticks I want to try out. So I guess another thing. Cool sound cards so far. I haven't tried the game port out. It's installed. Drivers are there and all that, which is great, but I just haven't tried it. Again, running smooth, running good. Like, this is just... Like, come on now. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's not about having the biggest, beefiest system of all the time. It's about having a smooth, consistent system. When built right, boy, you know, ain't nothing like it. I definitely pushed the Voodoo 5 system pretty hard in a lot of ways, and it's been rewarding once we got it going. You know, with the Pentium 3 upgrade, of course, and all that. And I was also throwing bigger, badder things at it. And a little bit of similar experience with the dual Pentium 3 system, too. It still might end up being XP, but we'll see once the caps get replaced and my hard drive formatting woes go away. Oh, no, I wasn't formatting woes. That was blue screen woes. Once those are resolved, we'll see what we end up with. It might be 2K still. It might be XP because of a lot of the nice legacy support XP offers. And that's even having like a heavier overhead OS. And I was generally curious about running in the 2000 environment for a while. But, I mean, there are benefits to XP. And that's... I have a lot of XP machines, though. A lot of Windows XP machines. Enough Windows XP machines. But, gosh, it's a stable, good OS, man. They can run a lot of stuff. This game punishes you for losing any speed. Any speed lost. Got third. Gosh, this game runs good. I'd be tempted to try Diablo 2 to see how it runs. But honestly, like, I'm not... Well, I get... Like, so I installed it using Glide for the Voodoo 5 system. But then I'm like, I'm not seeing it. It's not going to render better. Yeah, it's more for a performance boost for a system that needs it. What are the system requirements for Diablo 2? Not this one. Okay, so like, again, like Diablo 2's Glide renderer might be a good candidate for this because it's recommending like a 233 megahertz Intel Pentium. And I'm kind of just below that, so maybe that would work good. But overall, I think we've kind of done a good exploration of what the system can do right now. We need to do more setup to really explore it further, especially the VFX1 and DOS capabilities. That's really what we're at. That's not right click. What are you doing? Thank you. Silly mouse. So I think that's next step to find interesting things with this system, this configuration. And yeah, that'll be another night. More setup, more stuff later. So I think I'll call it there. Thanks for taking the tour. It's been smooth, and we will a couple other things to set up, but then I think this is going to be a very capable, very satisfying machine. So thank you so much. Have a good night. See you maybe even tomorrow. So, bye.